Last time on Shadowrun Z, we were looking for trouble. Alright, we're back at the Seamstresses Union. What's up, Cherry Bomb? Cherry Bomb flags you down as you walk through the door. Hey, Hexadecimal, there's a woman looking for you. Jessica something. She's waiting for you by the stage. Bellevue type, wouldn't order anything, won't touch anything. I think she's afraid of diseases or something. Thanks, Cherry. No charge, chummer. Why is the bar so empty? We don't get much action in the early afternoon, just a few salarymen slumming Toursville and hoping to talk to Madam Sinful and some die-hard regulars. Madam Sinful? That's what the downtown folks call Mrs. Kubota. It's a Toursville thing, they like her to have a naughty name like that. Who's around? I just got in, but I think Coyote's cleaning the back bar. Mr. Delilah is hanging out in his usual place. The vendors downstairs came in a few minutes after me. Oh, and Bartlett's here. Don't think you've met him yet. Who's Bartlett? Charlie Bartlett? That's a good film, by the way, Charlie. I love Charlie Bartlett. I am Charlie Bartlett. John Bartlett. Big presence at the end of the bar. He's in the biz, connected. You might want to meet him. Is that guy still bothering you? You mean my ex? Shane? Yeah. No, he hasn't been in since that last time. No calls or pages or handwritten notes either. Weird. He was so persistent. I guess he finally got the message. Maybe he'll find someone at that Universal Brotherhood of his and settle down. I'm gonna have a look around. Have fun! Thanks, Cherry. Let's talk to Mr. Bartlett with his 2 swords from Great Swords R Us. Full of life with a quick smile, the man tilts his head and watches you approach. Hey, lady, what's shaking? Have you looked around? There's a whole lot of shaking going on. I got something that might rock your world if you got time. Time is money. I'm listening. You ever hear of the Nephilim Network? Of course you have. An in-the-know lady like you has to have heard of the premier merc team out there. If you say so. We're a tight unit. We cost a bit more than the common rabble, but we're worth it. Okay. Hey, Van Gra. Very busy. Show me something worth my time, or you walk away. Data from the NTSB. Renraku would pay to keep it quiet, and Ares would pay to know what it is. I've got 800 Nuyen for something like that. I know you'll double dip on this one. Make it 1,000. As long as you keep bringing in stuff like this, sure. Is that all? What? Man, I wanted another crack at selling the gems. I guess I should have sold them when I had the chance. Jessica Watts. At a glance, you can tell that Sam's sister Jessica is from a different world. The opposite of Sam in almost every way. Her suit is tailored, her eyes are sharp, and her style exudes authority. Ms. Watts? Jessica Watts? She eyes you up and down warily. She does a good job of hiding it, but it's clear that she is well outside of her comfort zone. Yes, and you are? My friends call me Hex, and I counted Sam among them. That's funny, I didn't think Sam had any friends. Friendship is defined a little differently in the shadows. I suppose it would have to be. So you're the one I was told about on the phone? A woman who called herself Coyote contacted me this morning to inform me that my brother was dead and that I should come to this place to speak to someone about an investigation. I'm very sorry for your loss. Thank you. And I appreciate you coming all this way. I'm guessing the Barrens isn't what you're used to. I must admit, it isn't. None of this is. She then furrows her brow regarding you more critically. You're not with the police, are you? I'm getting that a lot lately. But no. Looks at his recording timer. Eyes it suspiciously. By the look on her face, she is clearly struggling with this. I'll be honest, I would just as soon put all this behind us, or put this all behind me, And the fastest way to do that is through proper channels. Surely there is an official police investigation going on. Why not let the professionals handle this? Lone Star? Professional? Not the ones I've seen. But you must have better things to do than to waste your time searching for whoever killed my low-life brother. First, Sam was my friend, and second, I'm being paid for my trouble. She seems genuinely surprised. Someone's paying you? I find it hard to believe that anybody who really knew Sam would put up the money. Who is it? Sam. From beyond the grave. I don't understand. He set it up all up before his death. A contingency, you see. Am I to believe that my drunken sot of a brother hired you to find the person who killed him after he died? Her boardroom mask drops momentarily, and in a sigh, she reveals a brief glimpse of real emotion. I left Seattle to get away from Sam and all his bullshit. Now I'm back, he's dead, and I still have to deal with him. She composes herself, and in a breath, the mask is back in place. Listen to me, Hexadecimal. You seem like a decent person, but I'm trying to move on with my life. Our mother killed herself last year, and Sam, well, Sam was Sam. You know, I worked hard to put my family issues behind me. I don't want to see this drag on. I would love nothing more than to give you closure, and quickly. I appreciate that, but I think I'd prefer to just let it be. No one else needs to get hurt. Your brother had my back when I needed him. I can't walk away from this. Are we talking about the same man? My brother was worthless, Hexadecimal, worthless. He used people, Never mind, I can see that you're not going to let this go, and I respect that you are honoring my brother's memory in your own way. But I hope you can understand how emotional this is for me. Her demeanor instantly changes from reluctant to helpful in the span of a single meditative breath. Maybe you can do things in a way the police can't. Maybe I can help. What do you need from me? When's the last time you saw or spoke to Sam? It's been ages, I can't even remember. The bartender here recalls Sam complaining about arguments with his sister. I don't know what to say, maybe he dwelled on the past when he was in his cups. We certainly argued enough when we were younger. Did Sam have any enemies? Sam's biggest enemy was Sam. I don't know any of the others. You would likely know better than me these days. Doesn't sound like you and your brother were close. I think I've made my feelings about Sam pretty clear, don't you? You don't seem to care whether his killer faces justice. Of course I want justice. I just can't let him drag me down again. Take a look at this picture, huh? Cue Nickelback. Look at this photograph! And I'm gonna hurt myself later for that. Jessica takes the photo from you guardedly as if it might sting her, but the guard drops the moment she looks at it. Where did you find this? Sam's bunk. Can't believe he kept this. It was one of the few things he had. She studies it for several silent moments. What happened between the two of you? Things were different back then. We were different. We were a family. Then, after our father died, things began to change, and we couldn't get back to a new normal. With our dad around, there was always a reassuring order to our lives, but after, everything got mixed up. You can never really appreciate the importance of a person in your life until they're gone. The remorse plays wet across her eyes, and it seems that she's not just talking about her father. She then steels herself to tell the rest. Sam tried to be the man of the house. He truly did. But he couldn't handle it, and pretty soon, he had spent every dime of our father's life insurance. Every dime. After that was gone, with Mom working 2-3 jobs, he spent all her money too. I just couldn't stand the way he abused her trust, so finally I had to leave. She holds the photo forward, one part of her ready to relinquish it along with the past, and another looking to hold on to both. May I keep this? Sure, I got what I needed from it. Thank you. Where were you on the night of his murder? I will overlook the implied accusation and tell you that I was at a fundraiser all evening, a very crowded fundraiser. Tell me about your mother and her death. She was devout Catholic. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say she sacrificed her life for Sam and me. But she turned a blind eye to what Sam was becoming, refused to acknowledge his downward slide. I couldn't watch her do it anymore, so I moved out. After I left, we drifted further and further apart. I wasn't here when she died. In fact, I didn't even know about it until I returned to Seattle 5 months ago. So if their mother was a devout Catholic, then suicide would definitely not be something that she would consider even remotely lightly. Like, that's a big deal. It's like a really, really, really big deal. Where were you living before you moved back here? Calfrey. What brought you down there? It was less of what brought me there than what made me leave here. I felt lost in Seattle, so I moved to California to see if I could find myself. Did you? Actually, yes. While I was there, I developed a whole new outlook on life. A vision for what the world could become, and I came back here to help make it happen. I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you, Ms. Watts. Just as well, I need to get back to the office. But before I go, you should know that I'm reinterring my mother's body tomorrow, and I'm arranging to have Sam buried with her. The funeral's tomorrow at Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament, 7 o'clock. You're more than welcome to attend. Wouldn't miss it. Goodbye, Hexadecimal. I hope you find what you're looking for. Stay safe. Thank you, Ms. Watts. Alright. Let's see. Coyote's over here. Let's see what she's got to say. There she is, the woman of the hour. How's Gino? Hard to say. He's pretty burnt, malnourished, and dehydrated too. Paco's taking care of him. He's got friends who know about that kind of thing. He's a good man, that Paco. You know, Paco didn't seem like a half-bad kind of guy. The world looks pretty different to me now that I've got Gino back. Time to settle down, you know, with Paco? Don't get ahead of yourself, oh man. Paco's pretty and he's been there for me when I needed him, but I don't think I'm the marrying kind. See you around. Don't forget about me if you need some backup of your own. Oh, don't worry, Coyote, we won't. You were pretty handy. Hey, Mr. Delilah. If you're talking to me, then there's business to transact, am I right? Of course you're right, it's your job to be right. This is correct. You are a smart lady. What can I do for you, smart lady? I need to put a crew together. You got scratch, or you planning to pay me out of your earnings? How much is this gonna cost me? Well, for your speed, hired help would run you about $1,200 a head. You start taking on tougher jobs, well, the more experienced the runner, the higher the rates. I could pay the runners up front. Excellent, we agree on terms. I've got some runners on call if you need any special requests. I've got some stuff to take care of first. We'll see. Mr. Clueway, how you doing? Holding down the fort? As always, though people are more on edge than usual. Word got around about that latest Ripper killing, and people aren't feeling safe, and when people feel unsafe, they either go to ground or they huddle up. Notice how empty the streets are these days? That's because everyone's either locked in their squats, holed up in places like this, or seeking refuge in the nearest Universal Brotherhood chapter house. Safety in numbers, chummer. Not that we need numbers here. I got it covered. I'll bet you do. See you later, Mr. Clueway. Later. I like Clueway. Alright. Let's head down here. Can I offload some stuff? Because I don't think I'm going to use these frag grenades that I got. Alright, let's put this in the stash for now. Pull that. Put this in the stash for now. Pull that. Confirm. See if I can sell some of this stuff. There's gotta be a way to sell stuff. Right? Yo, Gruberman. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Buster. Were you in the military? After a fashion, yes ma'am. Sergeant of the 31st California Militia. No longer a recognized unit. There are those who say we would never work. But someone had to stand up to the tier, and it fell to us. Terran? Yes ma'am. I was in Cal Free when the Elves came marching down from the north in 36. After the UCAS pulled their support, we had little in the ways of an organized defense. But what we did have was a stockpile of weapons and ammo down in Oakland. Of course it was in Oakland. The locals in NoCal held out long enough for us to bring in the heat. And I tell you, all the magic hoo-ha in the world ain't enough to stop a V11 Hot Rock from cracking your dome. We drove them Elves all the way back to Wargarble. Would have pushed them all the way back to Portland, too, but some ninny down south reached out to the Japanese for aid and got our own version of Normandy for the trouble. Things went to hell in a handbasket from there. Don't much like to talk about those later days, so let's talk guns instead. Can I get you anything? Let me see what you got. Alright. Is there... view stash, sell items. There we go. Alright. Get rid of the machete. I don't want the frag grenades. I don't know if I want the phosphorus grenade. I'll keep the concussion grenades. I'll keep the jazz for now. Keep the street sweeper and the black scorpion. That sounds good. Alright, do we got anything new here? Anything interesting? Machete and a baseball bat? We'll pick up the machete. Yep, that sounds good. Alright, confirm. Never mind. Thanks, Gruberman. Yo, Eric. Let me see what you got. What do we got on? Secure samurai clothing? Got an armor of 1? I like this idea of dodge +3 or dodge +1. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Do that. And let's go ahead and sell that old armor. Not that we really need the Nuyen, but... Alright. Dr. Castle? Lived to see another day, have you? That remains to be seen. Still more work to be done. As long as you end up here in the end and not on some organ grinder's table, I'm satisfied. Granted, a repeat customer means a person courting death more often than any good doctor should condone, but I don't suppose I can dissuade you from your course of action. If only life was so simple. Very well, let's talk about how I can help ensure you make it back alive once more. How'd you fall in line with this operation anyway, Doc? I suppose you might expect that I had a fall from grace. Certainly that is the case with many of my peers. If not that you might think I was compelled to do this because a friend or a family member became a Shadowrunner, and I hurried to their assistance one fateful night. But the reality is I grew up knowing that this is what I would do with my life. My parents were both Shadowrunners and very successful ones at that. So successful that they retired in a very large house and raised a litter of kids who grew up hearing the impossible tales of their parents' younger years. Of course, we were expressly forbidden to follow in their footsteps. We were all expected to attend the university and take full advantage of the opportunities they had fought so hard to give us. So Mom and Dad were proud to see me pursuing a medical degree, and they only had minor reservations about me applying that expertise to the treatment of Shadowrunners. After all, they never would have survived long enough to meet and fall in love if not for the ministrations of several street dogs along the way. So I suppose you could say I was born into this life, after a fashion. Is there anything else I can help you with? Med supplies, please. Okay. We are gonna pick up one of these Dockwagon Platinum Trauma Kits. And I want all of your basic med kits. Okay. This we are going to put in the stash. We are going to grab our other basic med kit. We are going to drop one concussion grenade and put the basic trauma kit there. Looks good to me. Let's take a look at the cyberware. Alright, so... covers your bones with hard plastic, adds +1 body. Aztec cyber legs give us 8 HP, 1 quickness. Ares dermal plating adds 2 armor. That's expensive. About half of our current new yen on hand. But a permanent 2 armor? +2 to armor? I think that might lock us out of the bone lacing. Yeah. It's a lower essence cost for the dermal plating, though. Or do we just get basic cyber eyes? I find the idea of the quickness enhancement somewhat attractive, as I do the +2 armor. I don't know about this bone lacing or the eyes, and I don't see the cyber arm being particularly useful for me right now. Granted, there's only so much we can do in terms of essence. We'll have a functional essence of 4. No. We'll hold off for now. Don't need to access the stash. Alright, let's go see, do we want to hire anybody? Let's see him. Okay. So these are quite literally just random runners that we can hire. Meh. I think we'll go without any other assistance for now. So next time... oh, let's spend our karma before I end the episode. So we have 6 karma available. Did just pick up a melee weapon, so let's go ahead and boost our close combat. And melee weapons. That leaves us with 2 karma. Is there anything worth spending that on? I mean, I don't see any reason to. One moment. Alright. Well, that'll have to do for this episode of Shadowrun Returns Dead Man's Switch. Next time, we'll continue our pursuit of the Ripper. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful day.